Has NASA been in touch with the Mexican authorities about the rather sensational revelations earlier this week of 2 allegedly non-human corpses? And what, if any, importance do you attach to these discoveries?
I think David had a prep for that one.
Well, this is something that I know I've only seen on Twitter. So it's, when you have unusual things, you want to make data public. I think of this as like NASA has one of the most valuable samples from outer space, lunar rocks. What do? We make them available to any scientists who want to work on this. We don't know the nature of those samples that were shown in front of them. If I was the Mexican government, I would be making recommendations to the Mexican government. That's not our charge here. We're doing this for NASA. My recommendation was, if you have something strange, make samples available to the world scientific community, and we'll see what's there.
I'll just add that one of the main goals of what we're trying to do here today is to move conjecture and conspiracy towards science and sanity, and you do that with data, as David says, and that's the whole purpose of this study.
No se trata de seres que fueron recuperados en naves que son estrellamientos, sino son seres que estaban sepultados en minas de diatomea.
That motherfucker is not real!
Trying to work out whether I've accidentally bought non-alcoholic Guinness or not. Welcome to Alien Addict. From this fine Sunday evening, we're going to talk about those little bodies and stuff. So before we do, obviously share, subscribe, do all that sort of stuff. You can support the podcast by going to Patreon. All of those links are in the description. You can go and like us on Rockfin for our Rockfin only show. That's every Thursday. Give or take the odd special here and there. But yeah, go and follow the link tree. There's a link down there, and it's got all the links. You can also listen to this show as a podcast when I upload it, because I had a nightmare. See how I didn't swear there, because I know we're not 7 minutes in. I had a nightmare uploading the podcasts. For some reason, I couldn't download them off the YouTube thing. I don't have access to get them off YouTube, so I was trying to rip them from the thing. So nothing's been uploaded on YouTube. So when I do upload shows this week, there's going to be 4 shows that I upload. And I might even upload the Rockfin 9/11 episode as a little special. This is what you're missing if you don't come over and listen to the show. Anyway, without further ado, Oliver, Dave, our special guest, Will, how are we all doing?
I don't know if it's me, Lee, but you seem to be going robotic. Your voice is breaking up and going
yep,
kind of like they don't want us to do this show. And why am I so red?
Yeah. Let me shut some. Oh, hang on. I wonder if
it's probably the background of the thing, because it's already the light off your computer and there's red in the background.
I think it's his herpes.
Oh, that could be it too, eh?
Maybe.
More importantly, is it non-alcoholic Guinness?
Yeah, it's no, it's not. It's just got blue stuff.
Jesus Christ! Nearly cancelled the show.
Yeah. I was nearly going to cancel the show. It's not I'm not doing this without some sort of beverage. Do I sound better now? Are we all okay?
Perfect.
Yeah, sound better.
Yeah,
right.
Sounds good.
Who knows? must just be the government trying to get to us. So I don't know. I don't quite know how to open this one really, as far as discussion about these body things go. Everyone says they're fake. I have great problems with things when people speaking about things as absolutes. That doesn't necessarily mean I think these things are alien bodies, but it does mean that I've no idea. So I don't know. I suppose we can go Ollie and then go round towards Will to see what everyone else thinks of them.
So I think these things go back from 2016. I remember seeing them. I saw the big one. The big one's the one I remember seeing the X-rays for, and there was a few debunks on the fact that the fingers didn't join up properly, or that they had used different types of bones in the wrong place, and they were human bones. So the big thing there was people were saying, well, they've been grave robbing. I will say this. If I didn't know the history of this, I would say the X-rays alone. I would agree with Dave. What Dave said earlier. They look excellent. I'm not a doctor, but they do look good. You can see the full.
Bring up Ollie.
Yeah, I will bring them up through the show. But the problem that I have with that, and I did say that on Friday's show, is I believe if you put something together and you put it right and you did an MRI scan, I think it would still be structured like that if you did it well. But then I asked myself, the most interesting thing for me is the fact that this hit NASA for one. It's straight after the American UFO congressional hearing that Ryan Graves was invited to, and then he put the tweet out saying,
that was a Graves mistake, wasn't it?
Why didn't you? Why didn't you say that earlier? That could have been about the thumbnail.
Oh well,
it's genius. But at the same time, I am with you, Lee, from the discussion we had earlier, that I'm not willing to shit all over it just because every other YouTuber's willing to say that, because some people have an interest in this and they think it's real. Will, I heard you on Goof On the other day, and you were saying that you think it's real. So we'll definitely come to you for that. And that's the reason why I wanted to get your take on this, because I find it interesting. We like to go against the grain on Alien Addict. Let's face it, that's what it's about.
But it's not about going against the grain, Ollie. It's about seeing outside the box, right? And when you have a lot of outlets in social media saying it's fake, yeah, it's not. It's where's their proof, right? And then they only reference the gentleman that was doing it. Well, he's lied to us before. He's done this to us before, but that's not proof. That's, you know what I mean? We don't even accept it in ufology, stuff like that. So why would we accept it from somebody else? Mm-hmm. We don't know if it's real, and we don't know if it's fake.
Shall I bring up nice and early, so because you're going to get somebody saying throughout the show it's been debunked, so the debunk's like 1 minute long. Shall I bring that up beforehand? Maybe it'd be best just to kind of show people.
And but like you've said it, Ollie, already. If you're not into this field, and you don't know what people are doing around you or what they're doing in the background, and they show you this, for somebody that's out from outside and seeing this is a culture shock. And you shouldn't break people's bubbles, especially when we want more people involved in on this field, right? We want more people in on it. It helps everyone out. It helps YouTubers. It helps getting the word out and get people more conscious about the topic, right? And it's not all just jokes. So, but anyway.
Here we go.
So what do we see? Same stuff. A hodgepodge of human and animal bones. Here's a mummy named Josephine. A real beauty. Instead of humer eyes, she sports femurs or thigh bones. Her legs
See,
are even
Ollie,
more
just pause
patterned.
this for a second.
One of the thigh
Now,
bones is actually a femur,
when
only facing the
right. I've got issues with this, and I get what he's trying to say. But this is what I was trying to say to you earlier. Is that so? You've got on the left-hand side there, you've got the X-ray of what's supposed to be a human body, yeah.
Yep.
And then on the right, you've got the alien body, but it's clear that he's took just by looking at the top, he's took the same bone. He's took the bone from the alien.
He has it. He's flipped it. He's flipped the bone.
No, he's flipped it. But look at
he's flipped the human bone.
No, but that bone isn't the human bone. Look at the top of the bone he's took off and the top of the alien bone. He's took the alien bone and he's put that into.
No. Look, like if you look,
I'm
that
saying
there.
he's made that though, Ollie. That's what I'm trying to say to you. He's made that because look, the top of this bone, the top of the human bone, and the top of the supposed alien one are exactly the same. Exactly the same.
Except for the bottom.
Yeah, except for the bottom. But I mean, I think that's just the bottom that's been cut off. But just play it, and he sticks it on top. This is one of the. I find
one of the thigh
really
bones
weird about
is actually a
that.
femur, only facing the wrong way around, while the other one is a tibia. And they are completely mismatched. With the hip bone, there's no joint there at all.
I'm perfectly happy to say that to admit that this thing might have been made, but this debunk to me looks like someone's gone in and said, right, how can I debunk this? Not is it real? And that's my problem with it.
Another thing too.
Humanoid would.
Oh, another thing too is that they show it with no skin, no muscles, no tissue, no nothing. And I want to see a skeleton that they slowly put together that's been in the ground, but mummified. They say. I say otherwise, but it's been mummified. Put that skeleton together and do this reenactment with a human skeleton instead of the alien. He's going to walk the same. They're going to try to put bone to bone. And naturally, humans don't go bone to bone when they walk. There's a gap, and there's something in the middle of it that's decayed away. So to assume that two bones touch together to walk, everything's going to do that. Everything's going to do this action. Doesn't matter if it's alien. Doesn't matter if it's human, dog, cat, bird. Doesn't matter.
But Jaime did say this was perfectly preserved for 1,000 years.
Yeah, but you could tell there's something always in between the bones, cartilage. Or something, but they're not showing you that. This is the misleading part of it to push their agenda. But anyway, so go on.
And I think the word "perfectly" has been used liberally there because it's literally a stone.
It's basically petrified. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it's not perfect.
Wouldn't have made a single step. Some of the bones are simply chopped off. Note this asymmetry here. The fingers are a total mess too. The first pseudophalanges are facing in different directions on her left and right hands, with the white part facing up or down. Well, they just forgot to turn them the right way. Stuff happens. And look at this alien head. French paleontologist Julien Benoit thinks that those who crafted the small humanoid mummies used skulls of some small mammals for their heads, such as a llama or alpaca. Comparison shows that the reptiloid's cranial cavity fits perfectly the cranial cavity of a llama. The location of the olfactory bulbs, the inner ear, the brain hemispheres, and the cerebellum precisely matches those in a llama skull. The whole facial part of the skull was broken off, leaving only the brain case. The skull was then rotated so its back part faces forward. The reptiloid's face is actually the back of the poor llama's head. Paleontologist Rodolfo Salas Gismondi is of the same opinion.
So, I take it this debunk then must have been when they first came out. So this is old, isn't it?
That's what it seems like. I've seen the same video. Yeah, it seems
it's quite new, this debunk. The first debunk that came out was, because we didn't have this information, the first debunk was of the original human-size alien with the really long fingers, and that was the one that they said that they've got the bones are all wrong. These do not join, and these would not move.
So for these little ones, they would have had to use a child's bones, right? Like small children's bones.
Yes.
So why are they fully grown bones?
What do you mean?
Kids' bones have platelets. They continue to grow until adulthood before they're full. Kids have more bones than adults. All their bones look different.
Okay, interesting.
He's comparing adult bones to something that is 2 feet high.
Good catch, Dave.
I did
That's
talk to a doctor
interesting,
about
David.
this. Yeah, well, I have friends that are actually medical doctors and not some guy that's trying to...
So you took... Yeah. Did we meet one of them?
You met a bunch of them. I would say half the people at that party were doctors of some kind.
Well, without saying who you showed it to, what did the doctor say?
He says he would need to see the MRI scans.
One for Dave here.
Oh. Maybe, but or here's the thing: you can literally debunk anything if you want to, even if it's real, especially if it's real. It can be done. So we would have to say that they found people with an incredibly rare genetic disorder, enough of the couple people to build this and get away with it. Like, okay, I guess. But even then, people with that particular syndrome, their bones grow extremely weird. It's any of those syndromes where people are hampered in their growth. And as far as like they'll be like, well, this right side's bigger than the left side. Maybe they're right-handed or footed or whatever the hell that thing is. You know, the bone density on the right side of my body is higher than the left in my hand and forearms, just because I throw punches with the right hand and I've done it for so long. If you put them, they wouldn't. They'd be like, oh, this is from 2 different people. No, it's from one guy. It's just fractured. And all I'm saying is like, do I think it's real? I don't know. Do I think it's fake? I don't know. I'd like to see it tested by independent labs, but I'm just saying he's comparing it just for the fact of that particular part of the debunk. He's comparing adult bones to something that's 2 feet high. You know,
I have to say, Dave, I do like that.
I mean, it could still be fake.
but so even if it could be fake, so you got to think to yourself, even to your viewers here. I don't know, I can't see the chat who's in here, but what's their agenda? Why are they doing this? And I can't see anything why they would. Like, it's not for money, recognition, or anything else. I just feel this is what we asked for in the community, and we're getting it, and now we're denying it. So really, if we can't accept this, we should never ask ever again for a disclosure, because they're doing it, and now we're denying it.
And I think everybody has their own confirmation bias. I know for a fact in certain situations, people want an answer. And when you give them the answer, I've been a party to this multiple times, you tell them the truth. Okay, this is the truth. This is who this person is. This is their training. This is their background. They're like, no, that doesn't make sense. You're lying to me. And the more you try and convince them, the more they think you're lying to them. And it only reaffirms what they believe. You got to be able to sit back and be subjective. Like, so many people immediately when they saw it, it's fake. And the thing that's got me is everybody says paper mache. It's a catchphrase. It's universal. How did that happen? That's a terrible catchphrase.
So I'll be honest with you before I want to get onto like why you think it's real, Will, but I will address this. I can't pronounce your name because I can't read that writing, but read the news. It's fake. I would say to that argument there, I don't trust anything on the news. So there's that. I do think I personally think it's fake. I think it's fake as they come. But I do think there's a reason behind why it's there. That has a darker. I don't think it's just about the grift.
What grift?
Oh, yeah, that's it. I was just going to say,
grift?
I agree because I don't see. I don't see anybody making money. But the only two people I can
Jaime will
see...
make a lot of money on that.
I don't think it will. How? Yeah.
Yeah. How?
Write a book. Didn't he already do that?
Sell it.
No, he won't. He won't sell that.
He tried to sell.
Did
one,
he try?
didn't he?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, he tried to sell the original one, the one that was probably debunked for $1 million. Was it something like that?
Maybe we should set up a GoFundMe and we'll buy it.
Maybe. I mean that's the thing, but I agree with the idea of I don't understand where people think all this money is being made. And then people will turn around and say, "Oh yeah, well they're going to do the UFO circuit, what, and make fucking $150 for turning up and speaking for 2 hours." No, I don't. These people, especially the likes of the Corbells of the world, I think they can make a reasonable living without having to go down this road.
It'd be interesting to see what Corbell says on this week's Weaponized, because there wasn't a Weaponized show this week.
That's a good point.
I think it'll be a lot of word salad. Just a lot of walking around and not directing it right at what it is. It'll be more talk around it.
I would like to hang out with Corbell. I don't want to interview him. I want to actually talk to him, get a feel. Oh well.
I know.
Not like sexually. At least there'll be consent if it goes that way. Maybe. But yeah, it as far as the alien thing, I think we just need more testing, man. If he open it up for testing.
I think I said on Goofon show about that. We talked about that about opening it up and testing. Do you like having? Let's just put your mindset in my mind, and they're real. Mm-hmm. Okay. Why would I want Jaime Maussan? I can't even pronounce his name, but him to give away that body? If he gives it away, that's it, people. You're not going to get any data or nothing. I'd rather him do it, and then take his word for it over the government or the news. And then somebody says, "Well, the news debunk it." And I just said, as the show begun, people have their own agenda, and the news is the number one, top of the line, number one in that 100, 1 to 100. They're number one, pushing their own agenda. They've done it from the beginning, and they still will do it to the end. And they will never tell you what it is. It's just whatever sells the story. So if everybody's saying going around, "Oh, it's fake, it's this and that," they're going to push that. I'm sorry, but they're going to push it. If it was real, they would have pushed that too. You cannot rely on the news. Zero. You can't.
That's not my point.
But I'm just saying,
I don't want him to give it away to anyone. I just want testing.
No,
testing is
from him. That's right.
Or I want him to. So him, whoever. It needs to be a credible lab. It needs to be multiple credible labs. They don't need the body for that. They need tissue samples. They need bone samples. They, send it out to multiple labs. There's multiple third-party independent labs. He can even send in blind material to get tested. You don't have to tell him what it is. He could literally do that, not tell anyone, send it off to the labs. Hey, I want a DNA profile on this. Mm-hmm. And it'll come back. And they'll say, well, even if there's errors, if it was contaminated, they'll give the recommendation, but they're going to give you the profile. He could have that done. Just not.
Has he had it done?
He has some testing. So when they did the release, they did the MRI scans and they did the DNA profile, but he's only got one sample for each. And if you wanted a good sample set, you'd want, 10 lab, really 30, but you're not going to have that. So at least 10. A good sample set for any statistical modeling would be 30, minimum of 30. And then you would do a comparison. So that's just 30 samples. It's 30 pokes, male, do this. Yeah. Yeah. He still owns the body. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
He can send it to a lab in Switzerland, a couple in the US, one in China if he wanted. Wherever he wanted to, he could pick that. But there's plenty of independent labs. There's a couple not too far from me. They would absolutely do it. It's not crazy expensive either, not like it used to be. It's not hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's a couple $100. So.
But I could see that being on the next
step.
If they keep doing it. If the Mexico keeps doing these hearings, that will probably be the next one. And they're going to do it properly. And they showed the bodies. Next hearing is the data. The next hearing, and it's going to be, going down the line like that.
Yeah.
Who knows, right? Let's wait it out. See what they say.
I
and
think it's
revisit.
quite strange as well that when people talk about the lab that did the DNA profiles of this place, it's almost offensive the way some of the debunkers talk about it, because you would think that Mexico is a third world country. By the way, some of these people are trying to talk about it. It's really weird. Like I don't want to come across all like blue-haired, fist-waving liberal here, but it's a bit fucking racist, if I'm perfectly honest. But yeah, it's really weird.
That's the first time I've ever seen you pull the racist card, Lee.
I know. Yeah,
he pulls a different one in private.
I do. But I don't. I just, like you say, I don't get what's in it for the hoax, unless it's just going to be like Jaime's going to try and do some sort of documentary that he wants to like punt out, and I get that, and that's the only the other side of this is that Mexico tried to have a legitimate hearing like you had in the US, and Jaime's wound his way in there by saying, "I've got alien bodies."
His background is so sketchy, though.
Yeah, kept it quiet, rolled these things out, which he may or may not have made, and he's essentially co-opted the whole thing. But I mean, like that was the other thing that I heard someone say, said, "Oh well, it doesn't matter as much if you lie to the Mexican Congress than if you lie to the U.S. Congress." I'm still convinced that if you walked into the Mexican Congress as these are aliens and they're paper mache models, I still think you could get in a bit of bother.
There had to have been some kind of reassurance, right? Showing these bodies at that level. Like, you don't think anybody would just be able to go there and just, this is what it is. There you go. Oh, really? Okay. And they would just take it in and show it. There had to have been something there to convince them to do that. Something.
That UFO chick, no, I didn't see that. If you want to stick that in the comments, I'll take a look at it. What I will say is your man, which I can't say his name because the writing's funny. My thing's working really, really strange at the minute, so I'm sorry if I'm lagging. I'm given a yellow card here because I'm all for people fucking talking in the chat. But as I said, I won't let people take the chat over, and you're just saying the same thing over and over again.
Does everybody know what a yellow card is?
I don't care.
I do. That's in football, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. That's a foul.
Yeah,
that's a no-no.
Black and white flag if you're a racing fan.
Go on then, Will. Why is it that you're convinced that you personally believe it's real?
Really? Do you really want to know?
I want the reasoning behind it, because I find that type of thing really interesting, because we're all in this field for the same. We're all in this for the same reason. We're all curious, and I want to know. And I want to know why you believe.
Because I've first seen it. I seen this happening. Believe it or not, and it was on Goof On show, and I talked about it, and it was about disclosure. I can't remember what the topic was. It was a call-in. And I said to him, I have this weird day vision thing. I said, they're going to show two bodies, dead or alive. I don't know. I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. But I said, there's going to be a male and a female when they do it. Now let's fast forward it to now, to these bodies being shown. I need to know, to clarify in my mind, are they male or female? Because if they are, They're real. They're 100% real. Because I've foreseen this.
So you said this on a show.
I did. Yeah.
How long ago? Because I'm sure Rich could dig that show out.
2 call-ins before. So I think it was 2 or 1, his previous call-in, when he did a call-in.
How long ago would you say?
4 weeks, 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks. Could be even longer.
You're friends with Jaime Maussan?
Am I now? Oh, that would be nice, eh? Oh, shoot. Huh. Oh, yeah, that's why. Yeah, right. I'm in the sticks somewhere in freaking Canada. All right. How am I supposed to know?
No, that was British humor, that mate.
I gotcha. But that's, and I don't want to say it because once you put your name out there and you put your thoughts out there, people like to attack, and this is where I've been seeing this for quite a while, in every topic known to man. We're not talking about ufology either. Everything. People are out there to attack because it's not fitting their narrative. It's not fitting to their beliefs. So if you cannot believe what they believe, well, heck to you. Who cares? And you're lying. And this and that. I believe they are. You cannot tell me any otherwise. Unless he physically goes on the internet and goes, I'm sorry, they're fake. I don't believe anybody else in these channels, and they're saying that you do these testings because everything could be manipulated to tell you, change the narrative, to sell you bullshit is what they're trying to do, right?
Do you know about his background as well?
Jaime Maussan? Mm-hmm. I've heard through third party. Me personally, no.
But so I just want to know where you are here. So if everything got presented to you that this and shown that this guy had pulled the wool over a lot of people's eyes in the past,
right?
Would you still have that feeling for this? And there is no right or wrong answer. And
yes, I would believe him because the setting, the situation it was in. I think that's just a different level. It's not a Corey Good level. It's not a David Wilcox level. Do you think David Wilcox or Corey Good would walk into a congressional hearing in the United States and present the information they had?
Let's be perfectly honest. Not even,
would they? So Jaime Maussan, yeah, okay, he faked it, but he presented to a government level and got approved. What
I'd argue, even what's his name, the Greer hasn't had the opportunity to do that.
Even Greer, and that's why I'll never believe Greer, Lou Elizondo, and these people. Well, maybe I don't know about Lou, but especially the Corey Good, David Wilcox and Stephen Greer. I will never believe them because it's a lot of they're pushing their narrative, and you could take a little bit bits and pieces of the truth from that, but it's not the full truth and never will be the full truth because they have their own narrative, just like the news. And that's why you should never, ever believe the news. And if you do, take a little bit of the news. Okay, they're having a war. Russia and Ukraine are having a war. But other than that, don't believe what they tell you because they're going to push their own narrative. Right? You have to physically be there to understand the situation. Right?
I 100% agree. I've massive issues with stuff like this now. Oddly enough, I was saying to Ollie earlier on. I wonder what this. The other day, no, sorry. I wonder what this whole disclosure thing would have been looked at if we'd have looked at it through the lens like pre-COVID, because I feel that without going too much into things that YouTube doesn't like, we have lost all faith in institutions. Or at least I think if you're paying attention, you've lost all belief in institutions. Whereas if this had come out in, say, 2015 or something like that, when we still thought that, like every media outlet isn't bought and paid for by the pharmaceutical industry, and every politician isn't getting backhanders from somewhere else, I think would have been looking at something different. But now you really don't know who to trust. And that's the only way I look at things now is through the lens of Do I trust mainstream media more than commentators? No. Do I trust commentators? Not 100%. So you've kind of got to look for at least people, even if you listen to people that are wrong, like all of us could be wrong right now. None of us are intentionally lying to you.
No.
And that instantly makes this, regardless of whatever value it has, it makes this instantly better than mainstream media news or your 10 o'clock news program, because they are intentionally lying to you. They are intentionally fabricating a story to put something out. Whereas I would rather listen to somebody be curious and wrong, like for 24 hours a day, than listen to that. And I think that's this weird place we're in now, where trust has been eroded so much.
There's
Right.
people in the chat that thinks it's real, so I'm not like.
And don't get me wrong, I could be wrong. And like I said on Rich's show, your fun show, I dabble in a little bit of geology. I'm a certified cartographer. I could survey in Ontario. I've seen a lot of stuff. And one thing that brought to my mind was petrified body. And I didn't like when they said mummified. And even before the show started, I went on the internet and looked at mummified and petrified dinosaur bones.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still going to say, even on your show, Ollie, now, they are petrified. They are not mummified.
Mm-hmm.
I will still say it and say it to the end.
Doesn't mummified have to be a human process for it to happen?
No, it does not. Mummification is when you wrap the body and preserve it, and all the insides are taken out, and it's preserved.
So
right, so it can't rot.
That's what I mean. So, but mummification is a human process it's a technology rather than a natural occurring thing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. Oh, go
Okay.
ahead, Aldi. Yeah.
If we forget the bones, so forget the bones for now. Okay. Let's say that debunk didn't even exist, and we'd not had nobody had managed to look at the bones. I have a problem with how they handle that thing, because I don't know if you've seen them like pick it up and they just place it down on a table, like with a. It's just like, if that is like the best scientific discovery we've ever found, and you just picking it up and placing it on a table like that, I'm like, Jesus Christ, you just be a little bit careful with that thing.
Well, you know what you should be thinking of there then? Is considering how fragile it looks, how is it so strong?
Right. Why was it holding up to that momentum / downforce?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you see things in history that are really strong, but they still get handled with great care because they're so ancient and they don't want to even get a scratch on them. Now,
because we're prejudiced and racist. That's what it is, Ollie. Because it's not human. No, hold on. Because it's not human. We don't care. Right?
Maybe. But also, you've got forget the fact that it could be that people think it may be alien. Yeah. If it is, that thing's got some technology inside it. That thing has pieces of metal in its rib cage, and like, if you're a scientist and you find a discovery like that, forget doing some bloody scrapings of the thing. What is that inside its chest? If you have the best discovery known to man, you would get that thing out of the chest and show that to
because then you've got a smash. No, because then you've got a smashed up specimen.
Well, you may have, but surely they could get just get in there, take a little bit of the metal out, analyze the metal. Maybe
they could do that. Yeah,
maybe they already have.
Maybe they already have.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be something? If they went in there, then they showed the metal. Then when you're saying you've got some sort of metamaterial, people love to use that word in ufology. Ufology, should I say? But yeah, I mean, I'm all up for giving anything a chance in this field, because I got to a stage where I don't want to shit on everything because I'm in it because it's exciting, but still, those questions come to me. Why is nobody like taken a piece of that metal out of its chest to see what that is?
I just want to say to people listening to this, and it might make me slightly unpopular with some people, but here we are. When it comes to the like shitting on stuff and the like people not just instantly like debunking things and stuff like that, I think there is a real vested interest for people, especially on YouTube. I'll say the Goofons, Cambians, and Lose of the world because I've at least spoke to those people, and I'm not picking on them in particular. It's just I've spoke to them. I can speak to them again. It means I'm not saying anything about someone I haven't spoke to or about. I think there is a vested interest in those people to keep hold of ufology as if it's their own toy. So if you shit on everything, it's your way of holding on to your toy. And that's what I think, like UFO YouTube, as someone that doesn't consider himself like a UFO guy, I think that's where it's doing. Because if they can dismiss the hearings, if they can dismiss Corbell, if they can dismiss like whatever comes out about Bob Lazar and whoever next is on Joe Rogan, it means ufology is still what it was 15 years ago, where they were the kings of it, and it was a niche subject. So I think people should be really careful about who they listen to and why they listen to them, and what the intention is for keeping like because it's essentially gatekeeping, if we're perfectly honest.
So
yeah, go.
No, just I know. I like Goofon, right? And it might sound like
all three channels.
Yeah.
That's not the issue.
Yeah, right. And it's not. I'm not
even
defending
Dave-
Goofon. I'm not defending him. I am, but I'm not. It's not. Goofon should be left out of that. For one, he always says he voices his own opinion. He never pushes his opinion on you. It's not like Cambian, and it's not like the other ones. Cambian pushes his thoughts.
Cambian and Rich are two sides of the same coin.
No, I don't think so.
And I like both. No, they are. They
Well,
are
that's your opinion,
Batman,
but, yeah.
Batman to each other's Joker, and I don't dislike either of them. Yeah,
right. But that's and I've talked to Cambian. This is going way back. We haven't chatted for a long time, but I said just do what you're doing, Stephen. Just keep doing it. Who cares what people say? Because that's that part of the YouTube for people that like that stuff. Because Rich is not doing it. Ollie's not doing it. Somebody has to do it. Let him do his thing. But when he starts attacking other people, yeah, but anyway, that's his thing, right? Goofon cannot be on the same level because that's why I could distinguish between the two. He always says it's his opinion, and he could be wrong. He never says. He always says fact check me, and I do it. I fact check him, and I go off with my own thing. He's not forcing it down my mouth. Right.
Well, I think that's all any of us should do is just give our own opinions, because that's the thing.
And that's what you're doing, yeah.
At the end of the day, there's I think the word researcher is used far too much in this situation, because essentially what we're all doing is commentating. You know, we're essentially like wannabe UFO influencers, for want of better words. You know, that's kind of where we are. I don't think any of us are running to the lab and doing DNA testing on things. You know, we're reading a lot of stuff on the internet. We're watching a lot of stuff on the internet, where the lines of what becomes entertainment for yourself and what's research, I think, are blurred like greatly. But yeah, this is all it's all like I just said before. You know, there is no mainstream media source we can trust. So what you do is you gravitate towards the people that you think at least aren't lying to you.
Right. Or the public, people's, not some kind of authority figure, right? Somebody like Rich, just an average guy. Somebody like Ollie, just an average guy. You know what I mean? Lee, just an average person, not a government official, lawyer, doctor, where you think that, whatever.
Oh no, me and Ollie are totally in this for the 57 pence we're going to make from YouTube ad
I thought
revenue.
so. Okay. Is that why you're running 50 ads in a 5-minute video? Okay.
We've sold out. Our price is just really low. It's unbelievably low.
Get ads. I don't think we get ads, do we?
No,
Everything comes back as yellow.
We don't even force the people to watch the ads. You can skip them.
Right? Yeah, but it gets tiresome skipping every 5 seconds, I just but yeah, so no. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Did you get more? Did you feel? Are you more excited about the Mexican hearing than you were the US one?
Yeah, sure, it was 100%. Why wouldn't you be? It was just like, do we not forget what happened with the United States hearings? Nothing.
The reason why. Okay, yeah, but Grusch did say that there are non-humans. Do you think that's what he meant? Do you think he expected Jaime's little?
I seen that thumbnail, and no, I don't think he did, or he didn't know of, right? And maybe that face that's etched in my brain now. Thank you, Ollie. Of him, that little hashtag you have of him, or that hashtag, that little thumbnail.
This one.
Yeah, that face, right? So, yes and no. Like, he knew there was bodies. He was more shocked that probably Mexico showed it. Maybe that, but was he expecting it? Probably. Ish. Yeah, probably ish. He knew they were there. He talked about it. And now they're showing it, and everybody in the world saying they're fake. Like,
I find how small they are interesting as well.
But I seen a craft. Now, I seen an object. And I'm not going to say UFO or UAP because I knew exactly what I was looking at. But the question is now, what the heck's inside of it? Right?
I'm comforted by their size. I love it. Yeah, it's fine, man.
Size doesn't matter to you?
Fine.
Is that what you're saying?
No.
It could be long, short, stubby. It doesn't matter?
Sure, it just depends on the weekend. But
okay.
I think
I have attack dogs that'll take care of that. Like, yeah, invade away, have at it.
I think Rudolph is quietly spitting facts here.
Yeah.
I suspect an alien invasion during the 2024 election.
That'll be fun. I'm down.
No, I suspect nothing's going to happen until the next Mexico hearing, and then we're going to find out information. I'm telling you now. Just watch when it happens. I want to revisit this video. I'm gonna favor it and put it on my watch later list when Mexico comes back out with all the data based on those aliens.
So do you think that like they will have Jaime will have the last laugh?
Yeah, and I watched this little clip with Lou in it, and I love Rich's little clip in the beginnings. It's just funny. I just love it.
Is that the one where he says, I'm an intel guy?
That's right. Yeah. So Lou said something, and I needed to find a clip. I made a video. I needed a clip of him. Found a clip of him stating all these hoaxers that are stating these things. They're for a rude awakening. And when this shit comes forward and they're wrong, they'll have nothing. And I'm pretty sure he was talking about Greer, right? And relating to him and those other type of people, like David Wilcox, Corey Good. I think this is the stepping stone. I think they knew this was going to happen. They knew Mexico was going to show the bodies. It's just a hunch, but I just seen this unfolding. And the next one, Rich said, who do you think the next country is going to be for the next hearing? It will be China. That's my next thought that crossed my mind. Who would it be? It wouldn't be Russia. Trust me. They're under scope right now. I don't think they're going to be doing anything time soon besides doing what they're doing. China has now separated themselves from the United States and from everything else, and I think it's going to happen. Will we see it? Probably not, because we're getting monetized through I know my government is. of Canada is monetizing our content, so we cannot get certain content from across the world. This is happening right now. And so will we see it? Probably not. It will happen, and it will come out somehow, like how footage comes out in North Korea. Apparently it's locked down. Nobody can get footage in and out, but it still happens. And this is how we're going to get China's information. Somebody's going to leak it. We're going to get it, and it'll be another part. It'll probably be the crafts, right? So U.S. does the whole political side of things. Mexico does the bodies. China does a little bit of this. Russia does a little bit of that. And this is how it's going to be disclosed. And then it'll be one unified world. We're all on the same page. And then that's when we're going to get disclosure from around the world. Meaning aliens coming in, they're going to do it that way. They're not going to come down when there's different, right?
Either that, or you just the way you said there's one unified world is kind of where I think is going on, because I'll be dead honest. I think all of this is, I don't want to say nonsense, because that would suggest that there's nothing behind it. But I don't want to go like full Project Bluebeam on it. But like you've literally just given a cast iron example of how you could use this to install some sort of one world government. And like I'm a big one world government guy. And that's kind of where I see like coming down the pipe.
Well, that's what I see too, right? Unfolding in front of me. Now that's my interpretation. That's my perception. Everybody has a different perception. Everybody's unique in their own way.
You're definitely entitled to that. And
right?
That's the one thing I do disagree with, is when somebody just wants to shit off all over somebody else's beliefs just because they think they know better and they're smarter than that person. You know, everybody thinks differently. You know, that's that's what makes us human,
right?
I do want to. Do you remember?
If anything has shown us over the last 2 years, it's that really, really smart people make terrible decisions.
Absolutely. Do you remember this guy that's looking at Dave?
Who's that guy?
So that is, we did. I think we did. Yeah, we did do a show about Dr. Jonathan Reed,
right?
Who's there now. I managed to pull a really. I thought so. When I originally we spoke about this alien, I couldn't get a good quality picture of it. It was always the blurred one, and I got the good quality one there. But that thing kind of reminds me of Jaime's alien, and both these two have spent time together in the past. He's done a lot of work with Jaime, and
they were people sized, though, weren't they? Those ones?
No, that was tiny. That little. They want us to. I don't think it was as smally as that. I mean, it was a strong little bastard. It ripped his dog in half. Do you remember? Do you remember the story? Yeah.
No, but Rich filled me in. But yeah, so sorry. Right.
So,
if it's a Yorkie, like that's not impressive,
right?
A Rottweiler.
Yeah, and if it was a sausage dog, like you've got momentum on your foot, you can pull a sausage dog.
Good grip on it. You know what I mean? What's the tensile strength of a Chihuahua?
You got a Labrador? Can you show me a Labrador?
Labrador. Now we got something to worry about. It's ripping a Labrador now. That's baby dogs.
So the little alien that looks like somebody's bald grandma is.
I thought she looked familiar.
Sorry, Ollie.
This whole thing, like here with the Dr. Jonathan Reed, that was the guy that he did a disappearing act with a bracelet that he pulled off the very small alien, but then all of a sudden the very small bracelet fit a grown man's hand.
My uncle did a disappearing trick with a bracelet as well, and he got 15 years for it.
Rightfully so. He's still known as the monster of the Isle of Man, right? People here didn't know Lee was famous or had famous relatives.
I also still wear the bracelet.
Yeah. How was that Catholic boarding school?
Not good.
I imagine not.
A little
They knew
sore.
they already knew you were broke in.
This is like the cameo bit at the end of the show.
Well, hot dog.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's not the first time we've had aliens from somebody, but it's the first time we've had it in front of a worldwide audience.
Like
She said.
But yeah, that's true, right? This is the first, and we've been asking for this, people. We've been asking for this for so long.
Yeah.
We get it, and now it's just fake. We gotta throw it out the window. Come on, let's just.
But do you believe Doctor?
I believe.
Jonathan Reed's alien?
No, only because I just see drawings. I don't see factual physical evidence.
That's not
I've
a
never.
drawing. That was a piece of.
Oh,
he had that thing wrapped
right.
in tinfoil like a kebab.
That's right. And I mentioned it. I said, I think I've seen that. And it was 2 freezers, right? He had them in his freezer.
He had it in the freezer.
He's
Then
still in the flavor.
Yeah, it came back to life. It came back to life. Because he hit it in the head with something.
Right.
Yeah, and then he put it in his freezer.
Now, what was he doing? So who promoted that?
Jaime Maussan.
Oh.
Yeah.
The same guy.
He's got a bad rep.
Okay, hold on. Let's save his
But I'm pulling
career a little bit
this time around.
Yeah. Of course, right? It's like the Toronto Blue Jays, or not Toronto Blue Jays, Toronto Maple Leafs. They don't win the cup for freaking 54 years. They might do it next year, though, right? They might get it next year, right?
Statistically, yeah. If Jaime says every alien that's given to him is real, and if aliens are real, sooner or later he's going to be right.
Correct.
That is true.
Correct.
He's literally walking into a casino and betting on black every time.
Seems a little racist, but correct. I'm just saying, I would have used a different analogy. That's all.
That's quite a good point, that though, Lee. If he just this is it's an alien. It's an alien. It's an alien.
It's like,
It's an alien.
no, mate.
It's not an alien, Jaime.
That's
not
a
an alien.
fully intact Labrador. No, it's an alien.
Actually, you might have an alien.
Or Jaime. But he could have been misled. You know what I mean? Because he does look a little gullible. And I have seen footage of him. Rich has been covering him for quite a while. And it just seems like he's up for anything that tells a story on his channel, on his own time. And this is where I got to keep an eye out for me personally to see what he does after this. Does he try to push it even more and tries to sell it? If not, you don't hear nothing from the guy, something's up, right? And I believe, right? And I'm going to believe until I've been told otherwise through him or see it through my own eyes, right? And nobody's going to change my mind. I'll take everything in, and I'll try to figure it out in my mind. But from what everybody's been telling me, you know what? I still believe him 100%. There's nothing that tells me otherwise. Oh, he's been fooled before. Oh, so he's been fooled. Doesn't mean he fooled us. He's been fooled. Okay.
Everybody.
So what's that? I've been fooled too.
Everybody.
So you know what I mean?
Never.
So yeah, get me more evidence on this guy. Maybe hardcore facts that this guy has made this. Show me that before it comes out of your mouth. How do you know he made it? You don't know. Him or another party. You have to physically show it. Show me documents of jobs being done, the pay stubs, anything, right? Anything. They can't. And that's not pushing their narrative. So they will never show us that. They'll just keep saying.
What I would be interested to see would be them to just cut a segment of that creature. Cut a segment down to the bone. Let us see the layers. Put that thing under a microscope. Show us that. That's the things that we should be seeing. We should be seeing something of that thing that's in its chest that almost looks like I don't know if it was gonna hazard a guess, if it was like an alien device. Let's just go there for a minute. something to keep the things breathing.
Okay. So this might happen
on this planet, maybe, or keep its heart going.
Right. This might happen, Ollie, and I'm going with you on this. So maybe this hearing is him releasing the bodies. Maybe he will no longer control these bodies now. So after this Mexico hearing, this is him giving it to the government. He's literally giving it to them, kind of thing. And they're going to chop it up, and they're going to do their testings now. And these are the hearings, like I said, will go forward. So how long does a hearing usually take? A year, 2 years? So let's give it a couple of years and see if anything comes from this. This is something that does not all flop on your doorstep. It never will. It never has. Right? So they showed the bodies. Now they need to do the testings. Jaime's going to lose the bodies. These bodies are gone now, right? They're on their way to being tested. Who knows, right? Is he? I don't know.
If this stands to be like, looks like I've got a leaky nipple. It's my water. If this thing does stand the test of time, surely, like, there would have been a conversation afterwards with Ryan Graves. Like, Jaime speaks English. He speaks perfectly good English. Like, he was embarrassed. Like, that tweet that he put out was embarrassment. I'm wondering if there was a conversation afterwards. Like, if I'd have been Ryan and I'd have seen that there, and then I'd have been like, holy shit, what is this? Unless he knew I mean, the guy's in the field of ufology. He is. Like it or not, he is. He may not know much about it, but he's definitely in it, and I'm sure he would have done a bit of research to who he's into Jaime, because he's gonna meet that guy. So surely, if you're gonna go and risk, your reputation, he would have already looked into that guy. But then he put that tweet out afterwards. Now, is that because he saw the backlash, do you think, or is that because he genuinely didn't do the research and had no idea what he's about to walk into?
Did you not think his response was weak, though, in that tweet? Like, his tweet turned around and said, I was there because I'm worried about air safety. When
he's distancing himself.
Yeah. Now, I'm sorry, you weren't there because of air safety. You were there because of fucking aliens, is why you
That's
were there.
right. And who knows? Their lives could be in danger right now. And maybe that's why he's retweeting it, putting that tweet out there to cover his own ass. Because right now, Jaime Maussan and the Mexican government is in trouble for showing those bodies when they should never have. Maybe that's the case. Let's put it that way.
This is the thing. If in a situation where those bodies are real, I feel that's the thing, is where the essentially the Mexicans have gone rogue. And they've seen this. They've seen the American Congress and gone, okay, fucking, we'll see your Congress and we'll raise you dead midget mummies.
Which is a very, very likely scenario in all seriousness. With the machismo of South America and the way their politics play out, and that brooding ego between nations, that is far more likely than unlikely.
Joe, I loved about it though. When you saw the X-rays, like the ultrasounds off them, and you could see like the eggs that were inside inside the body. No, it just shows even the fucking Mexican aliens are trying to get coke across the border.
Very good. Again. So like,
where's the yellow card? No, sorry.
Piece of metal in chest, that's not been analyzed.
Could be ceramic. We don't know.
That's right.
Eggs.
Could be an 8-ball.
Eggs in belly. Take one of those eggs out.
I think they will. This is where I think this will happen. Everything we're saying will happen.
2016.
Jaime probably wanted to sell the bodies to the government for trillions of dollars, and they wouldn't take it. And now that he sat on these bodies, made enough money, he's now giving it to the Mexican government or whoever wants it, kind of thing. And this is him releasing it. And I think we're going to get these answers. I don't know why, but I feel we're going to get these answers. They're going to cut open the body. They're going to tell us, oh, it's ceramic. Here's the proof. But something's going to happen.
Has Stephen Greer said anything about that? Because he also had a little tiny like alien thing back in the day. That was like his first documentary series.
Yeah, wasn't it like a brown blackish kind of looking thing?
Mm-hmm.
It was it was about that big.
Yeah.
The Anakami or Anakama or
Anakama alien. Yeah. That Gary Nolan took all the evidence, all the research to TTSA after he already worked with Greer, and said, well, it's human, but it's got so many things wrong with it that is just so rare.
The wild thing was about how old that lived to as well.
Yeah,
it was 7. I thought it was 8, maybe 7, but the fact that it was clearly eating and stuff like that, it's when you have something as deformed as that, usually those things don't get outside of the fucking birth canal, let alone years into life. I still think there's something weird about that, to be perfectly honest. I still there's. And I think the thing is as well, it's okay saying, well, there's so many things wrong with it. Well, where are the other ones? Because like I've got a rare kidney disorder. I know there's people with the same disorder as I've got. It's not like I'm the only person rocking around with this genetic kidney abnormality, and the chances of having this like kidney abnormality are almost like beyond reasonable doubt. It's fucking. I was like the second person in Europe, so the youngest person in Europe to have the operation at the age I had it in the 80s. Oh, wow. They had to fly someone in from the States not to do the operation, to oversee somebody else do the operation on me. So there was 2 people that could do it. But that even something that's as fucking abnormal as that, I'm not the only specimen of it.
I have just to go with you on that, I think that's an excellent point. Like I have an extremely rare eye disease. That I had to go to a private hospital to get treated.
In your eye is not.
It's fucking. Rare. It gets. I mean, you know all about that, Lee.
I know.
Yeah. Occupation. I've only met one person who has it. And it's not as rare as what you had, but I've only met one person with it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's unusual, right? There's special hospitals around the world, or at least.
Did you meet the person that had your eye disorder at the hospital you had it treated?
I did meet the homeless kid from Warsaw that they took my new eyes from.
Oh,
yeah. I'll make sure I wanted to see him first. I had to approve. That's the problem. If you get into part trafficking, you don't know where it's coming from, right? Do you just buy fruit without checking it first at the store? Oh,
yeah.
No, you gotta see it's fresh.
No, just nice.
Tap it. Is it good?
It's like show me his dead body as soon as you come around. Show me his dead body.
No.
It's like show me his dead body. It's like, why? Why do you want to see his dead body? Because he was the last thing I saw with my old eyes. I want him to be the first thing I see with my new ones.
See, you get it. Lee gets it, guys.
I just don't know how far this thing's gonna go.
Like it's going to take us 2 years.
We're already ripping eyes out of like homeless children, so
No, I mean,
an adult.
I'm getting back on the alien bandwagon. I don't know how far they can take this without
2 years. 2 years, Ollie. I give it 2 years. They'll take this, and it'll be the testings. It'll be it'll be passed around like a $100 hooker, and it'll just be thrown around, and this will be our years and years to come. Everybody's gonna do their own little thing about it.
When you saw the debunks though, Will, and they were matching the skull up, they were matching the bones up. Whether you think it's that's nonsense or not, you have to admit it's similar.
Oh, and well, the way they debunked it, right? They show the size of the alien body, then they took the size of the other skull and they went, oh, look, it
No,
fits.
that
What
was
do
a
you mean it fits? You had to shrink it down.
No, the skull wasn't shrunk. It was a segment of the skull. It was the back of the skull that they took out.
But they weren't the same size in relation to the bodies, right? So like one was bigger than the other. What's a llama? What's the size of a llama?
It's similar in size.
The size of a llama is the same size as the alien? You mean? I thought llamas were skulls were bigger because you see where his thumb is, his left hand, right? And he's pointing with his right hand. That left hand, there's more to that skull, right?
Yeah,
it goes out more, like a tip. Anyway,
the skull is saying is reversed.
Yeah, he's holding that upside down. Yeah, because it should be technically the other way, but they don't want to show you the nose of that skull. They're only pointing to what they want you to see, and this is what I'm talking about, their own agenda. They are covering up from the eye socket down because they don't want you to see that, right? And only they're showing you, it's like the red arrow, the famous red arrow. Look at this spot. Forget what my hand's covering. Look what I'm pointing at.
Yeah.
Right? Because, yeah, well, even there. So let's go back right there. They're still covering some of that skull. And you're telling me that object to the left is the same size as the object to the right? They've refitted that. That's refitted it right there. They refitted over. So they don't show you the true size of it. Oh, there it was there. Let's go back.
This is my issue. This is what I was saying to you, Ollie. You know,
what about backward fingers?
I'm looking at different colored fingers. I don't know.
The backward fingers.
Say it is alien. What do we don't know what its bones look like.
That's right. They're comparing it to a human bone.
Yeah.
They are not human. Don't people understand this? Why are they comparing it to us? They are not us.
Do you know what the interesting thing there is the fact that it is it slants down on what would it be its right hand side, and but then if you look at they're picking on the fingers, but the palm is different on both hands as well. Mm-hmm. The palm and wrist. I mean, that's the left hand side of that is so much thicker than the right hand side
because of the being petrified. The bones are fused. Everything's fused, so you can't distinguish what's bone or flesh. And on the right side,
it could just be the fact that those animals aren't symmetrical. You know,
maybe right.
Symmetrical,
yeah.
You know, it could be as simple as that. Like they could have a doing hand and a clubbing hand.
Who knows?
No, dude. There's lobsters that are that way. There's crustaceans. There's creatures in our nature that are not symmetrical on both sides. They're off.
They have a power side that does the heavy lifting. The other side feeds themselves. The right side kills them. Left side, and they just kind of feed themselves. They don't feed with the big claw. That's gets stuck in their eye or something. So they use the small little one to feed themselves.
With this, it'll come down to DNA and chemical testing and analysis.
And we will see
this. Is in its plate. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, that has to be the next step.
That's in my mind. It is.
Yeah,
like where else would you go?
It
from
has
here?
To be the next step. Yeah, there's
if you're going to sell it, you're going to sell it good. You know what I'm saying? He's going to show the evidence. Yeah. He wants people to click and pay him and give him money. He's going to do something about it. Right?
Yeah. Surprised Bob Bigelow hasn't bought it.
No, it's too real. You can't sell real. Just saying, you can't. It doesn't create a story because once it's real, you're like, oh, well, okay, I can't add nothing to that. Like,
I'm not going to lie. When you look at the petrified thing, what's that? I'm even fucking amazed there's bones in it, to be honest. Because it's what was the thing Musk said about his car in space? It's real because it looks so fake.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And the mouse.
Yeah,
I want to touch the body. I want to know if they're going to do that.
Easy. We all.
I'm definitely in team. That's fake.
I want to be there. I want to see it. I just want to touch it or something, or put my hole in the eye socket or something. Like
your finger in the eye socket.
Yeah, finger it. I want to finger it.
Yeah.
Is what I want to do. But will they let me? Maybe, based on my being nice. Possibly. Who knows, right?
Depends. Just take it for a drink first.
Well, it's dead. It doesn't drink, right? So it's fine. Maybe
All right,
flowers.
I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to break that little thing's chest open, get that piece of metal out,
or ceramic,
or ceramic, and I want to see what that is.
I'd like to make an omelet out of those eggs.
Would you like to know? Would you like to know what you just did to me, Ollie?
Made you spill your drink.
That is what you made me do.
Ooh, look at all that head. Oh,
it's good head.
Lee, are you going to take all that head? You're going to take it all?
He'll relax his throat. He'll be fine.
Okay.
2 goes, but she'll be gone, and I won't spill a drop.
With the cigarette in your mouth.
Lee never spills a drop.
I'm with you, Dave. Though there, I want to see what's inside one of those eggs.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's. It's going to come down to what do they do next? Or are they going to?
That's right.
For scientific examination.
That's what I
they
think.
Can do it themselves.
Well, I think he may have. I don't know, right? We don't know. I'm just speculating, and it's just, it's just whopping around my brain right now. But I think he handed it over at this point. I don't think he's going farther with these bodies. He showed them. They're taking them. They probably took him after the hearing. He didn't get to say goodbye or hold his hand or give it a kiss. It was gone right after the hearing. They took it, gone. Now the testing, right?
That poll is sitting solid. Like, it's not moved, but more people are voting, but it's still split the same.
Oh, are we 50-50?
No, we're not 50-50, no.
Oh.
What are you on?
We're on 19% of the audience think yes. 63 people have voted. Yes,
should have been a third option. There should have been a third option for.
What should?
I have no fucking idea.
No, because people would have. I don't like giving the third. It's an easy way out.
It is, isn't it?
Or leave comments, people. If you're in between and you don't know, tell us.
But I feel that these in between people, once they do this testing and they cut the foot or the leg bone and see what's inside of it and see if it is an actual bone or is it paper mache or whatever.
100%. It's 100% whether it's fake or not. It's got real bones inside.
We need to cut that thing up, right? It has to be cut up. And Rich said, you had 2 bodies, give away 1. But you know what? Come to think about it, he probably doesn't even have 1 anymore. They're probably gone, and they're being tested. So I'm hoping, knock on wood, that this is what they're doing with these bodies. I want to know
where they got that one from. Is that one part of this? Because this one would say they've chopped a head off. I mean, is this supposed to be the same head of one of these 2? Or is this a third one that they've removed the head and then put it back on? Because
it could be a different species, totally different.
We've got a head on a table there.
Well, I'm just asking that UFO chick. She's put some fucking proper good stuff up in the chat here, and I'll be dead honest. She seems to have done fucking far more work than we have into this. So she was saying that one of the one with the eggs is actually like displayed in a museum. So if she wants to come on and fucking tell us.
Oh yeah, eh?
Yeah, that'd be handy.
Have you sent her the invite?
I haven't sent her an invite. I've said, do you want to come on? If you want to come on, you can come on. If you want to come on after the show and just tell us what you're talking about, that would also be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just think this alien body thing, I don't know why people are not taking it more serious. I understand you don't trust the man. But come on, you can't dismiss literally everything that comes to your doorstep that's almost too good to be true. Sometimes you have to take it in and just see how it goes.
I think that's the thing. Yeah, the thing is it's not to believe it. It's just to go, well.
Okay, this again. Let's see what happens. Right. Yeah. Let's see where he goes with it. Nope. it's fake, it's paper mache. Well, where's your proof? Where's your reference point? Do you have the body now? Is that Mason give you, or the Mexico government giving you that body now to compare between the two? No, you don't have the comparison. It's speculation at this point. So, right?
Yeah, I don't know what else you can say about it apart from that. Like I said, it's talking in absolutes is what really upsets me about this sort of stuff. When we're talking about fucking aliens, people are talking about in absolutes, and we're talking about aliens.
Right. That's what they said. It was alien bodies, straight up. Right.
Yeah.
Here she is.
Howdy.
Hello.
I
Silent
expected you to say more.
She'll figure it out. She'll get there. It's something's going on. You know what I think is interesting is we're assuming that it's an alien just because it looks weird. It was found in a cave. To our knowledge, there's no technology with it.
Well, sorry, that's because we're
making the
me
leap,
and Will have
right?
never met before. I'll be dead straight here. I think there are things that are out of this world, we should say. I don't believe in spacemen. I don't believe in aliens and spacecraft. I think there is, like, I much more go down the route of multidimensional to like demonic type forces as far as these things are concerned, more so than flesh and blood animals coming from one, like, billions of light years away all the way here. So, and even down to the idea that it could be a separate species that's evolved, or the idea that we were tampered with at some point by something. You know, maybe this was a failed experiment in like 1,000 years ago trying to make different people.
Or these are aliens from a down craft somewhere that had to hide
Maybe.
somewhere, and they end up starving and dying because, you know.
Oh, so again, I don't think it's real, but let's just say it is real, right?
I don't
If
think
it's
you're real.
I'm not. If it's real, it's definitely an advanced creature because it has something
Metal
in its
boobies.
chest. It has something in its chest. I think it has something in its
Or
wrist
ceramic.
as well. Ceramic, yeah.
Why could that not? I mean,
that's not natural.
Could that not be clothing? Because you're taking it for granted that the outside of this thing is the
something.
No. I know where you're going. Not everything has to be inserted. But if you're like you weren't here before, Will, when I was saying to the guys, if you'd never seen a human being before, yeah, no single human being. And the first experience I gave you of a human being was, oh, you see that thing over there? That used to be a fucking person. And it was one of the preserved bodies from Pompeii. You would go, no fucking way was that real. That's clearly a model of something.
Yep.
That's what these things remind me of, is the Pompeii bodies. Now, they had fucking clothes and stuff on them at some point. So is there no way, if this thing had just been trapped in a cave, could that breastplate have been part of something it was wearing? And it's because of the it was the mineral, wasn't it? Mineral and dynamite, they were saying, which helped preserve them. Could that not be like something that was just on the top?
I think
of
that's
it
what's
rather
all
than
over them.
inside
Yeah,
it?
is that whatever the hell it was.
Evening,
Yeah.
guys. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can do. You're good.
Thanks for letting me on, and I've been listening in, and obviously it's been a bit of a manic week.
Can you turn up whatever you're speaking into, please?
I wish I could, but I've only just tried to work out how to get the volume on at all. I don't know what's happening with StreamYard at the moment, but it's just not registering sort of any of my headphones, and I don't know if it's sort of a driver issue or what. But
I've been having issues like pulling the comments up tonight. Actually, there's been a lag on everything. It's been weird.
Well, I was on a live like a couple of nights ago, and I tried like 6 different pairs of headphones, and I've been trying to mess about with the settings on StreamYard, so I can only apologise. Is there not something you can do your side?
No, there's nothing we can do. Just speak louder. It's easy.
Yeah.
Just screamers.
Just
Yeah,
shout really loud.
just use a good northern accent.
All right, okay, fair enough. But it's been really interesting listening in because obviously nobody knows whether they're real, whether they're not. You know, it's only speculation, and we've got to look at the DNA that's been done. However, it's been interesting to follow because Robert Salas, originally when they came out, he was like adamant that it was real and that you needed to go to this website called the Alien Project, which I did immediately. And it's got all of the original.
They now have all your card details and email address.
No, it didn't. But it does have all the information, all the original scans, etc., of the mummies, and they've all got names. And particularly the one with eggs that you're referring to, she's called Josephina, and it's got actual scans of everything on there. But further to that, he's then gone on. So he gave that link, and I went and looked at it. But then he gave an update just a couple of days ago from a place called the Inkari Institute, and they are the principal group involved with the desiccated bodies since they were found in Nazca. And what he's saying is he's got a response directly back from this institute that's been dealing with the research and preservation of these bodies. And they've come back and said that many people have contacted in relation to this, and they are sort of hyphenized called reptilian humanoids. That's what they've sort of classified them as far as I'm aware, from what I've looked at. But this is the main point here, which I found most interesting, which I think really does need to be brought up. They state like the only mummified bodies about which they can give the definitive opinion on are Maria. I don't know how to pronounce the second one. It's Peruvian, so it's Watiwa, Alberto, Josefina, and Victoria, and these mummies are currently at the San Luis Gonzaga University, and they've been studied and analysed since 2019. But on the basis of these analyses, the two specimens studied that have been classified as unknown origin, the Inkari Institute does not go further into, and they prefer to leave the debate on the origin due to specialists in the field. And what they then said is the two copies presented at last Tuesday before the Congress of the Republic of Mexico were taken from Peru completely illegally without any authorization from the Peruvian authorities, and these mummified bodies are part of the cultural heritage of Peru. They should be in a local museum, etc., etc. So there is posts on this. I just needed to make you guys aware of it because you're obviously having a discussion. Well, that's what it says on this particular response from the Inkari Cusco Institute, which Robert Salas has posted up on his page. So,
that's fascinating.
So all I would say is this: is that there are these mummies, obviously, that were found. They are apparently 1,000 years old, and there are actual specimens of them that have been researched, which you can look at simply by going on that Alien Project site, which I went on and looked at. But further to that, he's then sort of not retracted his statement about them being more into it, but he's then posted the response from the officials that are researching and taking care of those original bodies. So I would just say this is that you need to err on caution, no matter how you look at it. I don't know. I'm not a biologist.
No, but it's interesting. It's interesting what you brought up there, because even if
if they are fake,
if that's the case, then that kind of backs up the fact that they're real in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
It could be, but also the scans that they used, it looks, if you go onto the actual site I just mentioned, which Robert Salas recommended, it looks as though it's Josephina with the eggs, the 3 eggs, and she's in a museum. So I'm not sure. Well, that's what it looks like. That's what it certainly appears.
Unless the museum has the copies that are in, because there was an interesting thing I was saying to Ollie before, and I'll be dead honest. I learned this because of deep dives into the flat Earth stuff, which I don't particularly buy.
Dude,
but
I am not being participant to a
no. Wait.
conversation this evening.
But one
likes
of
to dabble in everything.
But one of the interesting things I found through doing the flat Earth thing was the dinosaur thing, which is like closely related, and the fact that any dinosaur bones you see in museums aren't real; they're all casts of
That's
supposedly things. And then when you actually see the fragments of real bones that were found, which were then pieced together to form like a femur, and then they built this whole creature around the finding of like a fragment of a shoulder blade. It's fucking wild.
I know it is, and I've been to the Natural History Museum in London and looked at the dinosaur specific section, and obviously I was like flabbergasted because I just assumed
they were
the
bones.
specimens that they had were bones. So I
me
do
too.
understand what you are saying, but in this particular like area,
but it feels the same, doesn't it? It feels like, I wonder if in like 200 years time, when we're all dead and buried, like our kids are going to be going, oh yeah, well, do you know that before aliens were discovered, they actually theorized what aliens were before they even found the bones of them. It feels like what we're seeing now feels like the beginning.
It's like what comes first, the alien or the future?
Yeah. But even the early days of finding like dinosaur bones, like fake dinosaur bones, were a huge industry. You know, people made fucking, probably at the time, hundreds of dollars, which equated to tens of thousands of dollars in old money. But I wonder if that's the phase we're in now of fake aliens. Are we in the fake alien bodies making loads of money period of history?
I really think what's going to like really show what the truth is the fact that they've said that they're willing to put those bodies out for DNA testing by credible researchers and for credible scientists to look at the DNA and to see. So that is going to be the definitive information. So we can all deliberate as much.
Is that
as
the
we
original
want.
bodies, the original ones?
Who knows? I don't know. And even so, I've seen news reports today, and Jamie say he doesn't know where they've come. He doesn't know where they are at the moment. These two specimens. So there was like a big news debate that happened, which it's circulating Twitter at the moment.
Is there a picture of the original ones?
I've given like the link a few times. It's thealienproject.com.
I just googled it. I couldn't find it because
it is literally www.the and then a dash and then alien dash.
Yeah, don't
project.
Underestimate how stupid I am.
No, but it's there, and it's got all of the original. It's got the measurements. It's even got some photos that are not in the congressional stuff. So it's got like the fingerprints, because one of the mentions was the fingerprints are not the same as ours, because obviously ours are a circular, and they're linear. And there is a picture of one of them.
Oh, so that would be like an almost a sea creature, wouldn't it? If they're linear and not circular.
I would not have no idea on that, because I'm not.
That UFO chick. Have you researched about these aliens' bodies at all? Like, have you dabbled into that a little bit?
Clearly, much more than any of us.
So my question is to you now, because I mentioned to the beginning of the show, I'm wondering if you could if they have distinguished a male and female out of those two bodies.
Well, what I read from the Nazca mummies, they've obviously given them male and female. They've given them genders.
We can't misgender aliens. Okay, we can't go down that path here, people.
No,
come on.
Terms...
We got to allow them the chance to gender themselves.
We have to do better.
Yes.
What's their pronouns?
Let's go with they, them until we know.
The eggs, Josephina with the eggs. There is an actual. I mean, I don't really want to quote. You'd need to actually go onto the website and look and see for yourself, because I can't vouch for this website. All I know is that I was given this link by Robert Salas. I went and looked at it, and then did my own research from there to see what information was out there. And actually, it was merely how they mention it is that there's like a slit underneath the female that would have laid an egg, basically.
Drop us the website in the private chat, because
How many times do you want me to send the link, for goodness sake?
You send me the link. You just keep saying it.
I'm shouting it out here. I must have given you the link about 20 times in the chat, but you just completely ignoring me.
Oh, is it in the link in the chat?
How? Hang on a second. You're on the show. How did we fucking ignore you when you're on the show?
Yeah, but
you are literally no, stop talking. You are literally the least ignored person that was in the chat.
Yeah, we're actively ignoring everyone else.
I'll put it in the private chat.
There's 82 other people in the chat we're actively ignoring.
Right, it's in the private chat, and I'll mute myself so you can all have a look now.
Don't mute
yourself. Don't leave us now.
We need you.
I do like the fact that the guy before that I gave the yellow card to just completely bounced. He took it as a straight red. Why do all alien websites look like they were fucking made in 1997?
Because they were.
Look at that background. 480p photograph he's used. It's on fucking purple satin though. That's kind of sexy.
So this is the original.
Feeling better and better about things.
It does look different. The chest looks different.
Oh, well,
it's cleaner.
You can see it.
It's cleaner. It doesn't have all that crap on it like they do in the hearing.
If you go
Maybe
to
they
the
kept it in a
Discovery
musty
section,
basement.
Sorry, guys. If you go to the Discovery section at the top, you'll see it comes up as humanoid reptiles. There's Alberto, Josefina, Victoria, and the family, right, under humanoid reptiles. If you click on Josefina...
1 second.
Looks like E.T.
One of them's headless as well, by the way. So
that'll be the head we saw before that we didn't know where it came from.
That's right.
I was accusing him of chopping the head off. Oh yeah, that's the one.
So scroll down.
Down.
Yeah, scroll down and you'll see.
His Jaime's there. Look.
Oh shit!
Well, he's fucking nut deep in it, isn't he?
But the issue is so Salas posted this page initially, but then he's posted that particular response from the Inkari Institute only like a few days later that are saying these two specimens were supposedly discovered in the Nazca region and then shipped to Mexico several months ago. So if you actually read the response that I did send, the Robert Salas post that he's put up, it's wild. So I'm just trying to be like everybody else on UFO Twitter, as a normal person, trying to make sense of it. You know,
if you try to be a normal person on UFO Twitter, you're not going to fit in.
Yeah.
No one will listen to you.
Nope.
Yeah, but the point is that if you do look through all of these, you'll scroll down and you'll see more images. I don't know. It's not like, hang on. There's loads more pages where it shows you the different discovery. Let me just try and find one because I don't know if it's Alberto that has the fingerprints, but this is the website basically that was said to go to look at, and this is the one that had all the original documentation about it. I don't know if they've since changed this. You know, it looks a bit different. Let me look.
To be fair, if they didn't freshen it up a little
bit,
I'd be surprised.
Yeah, but either way, if you look at the discoveries, you will see different photos that are not in the slides, because there's like the fingerprints and there's all of the different information, like Victoria, for example. Let me just have a look. So I believe these are in a museum. As far as I'm aware, they are in a museum. Looking at the posts that I've looked at, so the two that have been shown in Congress, I'm not sure where exactly they're from, if they have been taken without permission. But when you read through the post that Robert Salas put out, and it was a guy called Thierry Jamin, president of the Ankara Institute. He put out this this particular post on the 14th of September, and I'll send you that in the private so you can have a look. But there's a lot of information on this site that's not. This has been out ages. It's not, it's not a secret.
It's interesting that they're down as like
know,
humanoid reptiles, isn't it?
I don't know, like, what the truth is here. Like,
No.
It's still. I know about like the history of the hoaxing and everything else. Like, everybody knows that, but when it comes down to it, it's going to be the science that shows it, and the fact that they've said, we're happy for them to be properly tested. But like you'll see in this site, there's a lot more information than just that's on.
So these X-rays are different to the X-rays that we saw.
Well, there's several. There were several that were found. It's not just the two that we've seen. And this site shows specifically under the it's just what I found.
It's just the way that thing sits. I just can't.
I could be completely wrong. If you go down to the discoveries and then go to the family, it says, I can't remember exactly what it says. Let's have a look.
So E.T. did not make it home.
No, it doesn't look like he did, eh?
No.
I think that bike that he
not
flew
hydrated
fell.
anyway.
The sizes say
Yeah.
53
Electrolytes are important.
45 centimeters and 44 centimeters. Human reptiles. So I'm sure they've taken some stuff off this. Let me just look. Because there was the fingerprint and you could see the like linear. If I can find it, I'll send. It's definitely on here somewhere. You just need to have a look round. Just need to have a good old.
Oh my god! The Polish changing people. The Polish changing is starting to go up.
Fucking that UFO chick is a fucking needle mover. I do you know what though? That's such like just nothing to do with the aliens, but that picture, like the header picture where it says family, it's such a well taken photograph that I can't help but think that there's some poor photographer that's there thinking he should have been working for like fucking Versace or something, and he's taking pictures of paper mache aliens.
That he didn't work for Versace before this. You've got no proof.
Maybe that's how he got this gig, is because he worked for Versace.
That's the point right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got absolutely no proof. I need to see it first.
I suppose they're thin enough.
Is that black stuff on the right? Is that petrified?
I don't know.
From the bone?
Like
wow,
scales.
is that skin?
No, it looks like blood or something.
Fucking lizard people are real, man.
No, those scales.
Scales.
Yeah, it's on that picture there. Look.
These are the
That's
lizard people. Why are we? If these are the lizard people, why are we worried about them? They're so small.
Because of the kids.
It's the probing that's the problem.
Look at those fingers, and when they finger you,
That depends.
that's gonna hurt. I'm
What do
just
you mean?
saying.
Those fingers look average to me. That's
Right?
Lowered.
Average.
Just need to prep. That's all.
Do some breathing techniques. You'll be all right.
I would like to see Jaime's ones next to these ones to see if what you're saying is what he has are replicas. That's interesting.
I don't know if they are or not. All I'm going by is what information I've looked at. And as I say, I am not an expert. They could be complete fakes. This all could be fake. But I can just see what information I've looked at. And if you haven't seen it, then I felt like it should be shared. Because you don't want to be missing out vital information that could be out there,
Well, I mean, either at very least, it's this proves that it's been a long running hoax, and hoax that's been sort of like well established before this happened.
Well, loads more pictures. I'm trying to find the part so I can guide you to it where the actual.
It just seems a lot of work to hoax something. Sorry.
It is a lot of work.
I'm gonna
I mean,
mute.
well, I don't know. They didn't put a lot of work into this website. I think they saved
No,
all
they
the work
didn't.
for the.
Okay, so
for the
let's have a look at the
creatures.
contributions here.
The last time I had to navigate a website fucking this badly, I was busy doing research to roast that knobhead that fucking believes.
They probably use GeoCities
what's
to
his
create the
name?
website.
The Billy Meyer guy. That was the last website I was on, which was as bad as this.
Is there any dots over by Canada, eh? Is there? I don't think so. No, nowhere near me. That's all right. Oh wait, yeah. What's
none
East
that
Coast? What's that?
found.
Yeah, right down. What's East Coast? What is that? Toronto, Ottawa. What's in between Ottawa? Is that Montreal? That they're showing there? Yeah, Montreal.
I don't know. It's your country.
Yeah, right there.
I have no clue.
What's that dot for? Why is it there?
Oh, I've just found an interesting part. So if you go on to the discoveries and go on to Alberto, and if you scroll down, there's like three. There's characteristics, metal implants as well, and 2 cut CT scans. So if you click on metal implant, that gives you a bit more of the. It's 25% of copper and 50% of silver. It says.
Huh.
But this is different. This is different to what you've been seeing like online. You know, it's a lot more. I find it interesting. This could be absolute rubbish. I can't ever say this but this looks interesting to me. Have you found it a bit further?
Yeah. I want to see these scans. Is this it here?
Yeah, but then that's what I mean. There's sections within sections that you really need to take a good look at. And
Just hit the CT scans, just the videos, just so we can see. Yeah.
Interesting though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wait. I wish we could stop to go back to the side.
I think there was something to do with different amount of rib cages when I last looked at it as well. So they compared all of the 3 bodies that they were studying, and they had a different amount. But I don't know. I can't. It does look different to when I seen it before. I'm sure.
A lot of this looks different to what we're seeing
so far. I mean, they still got more to come out, right?
I mean, I suppose there's no reason why these have to be real fucking CT scans. They could just be made in Blender.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Yeah.
They had images though. No, they had like they had different images. So there was a definite close-up image. I wish I'd have taken like a screenshot of it now, of the finger, the actual third, and it showed you the linear fingerprints. It does look. I don't know whether they have changed it or whether I'm just 3-fingered hands. Maybe if I go into other, it might be in that. Let's have a look.
See, is this still a CT scan, Ollie?
This is. It doesn't actually say.
Color seems weird. I've never seen like I'm a fucking.
Depends on what kind of scan they're doing. Yeah, you can turn.
Yeah, but purple seems weird.
You can get a PET scan, full body.
I went into that other section. Maybe I should never go. You should never press into the other section.
Yeah, no, never click other.
Not recommended.
It just says 2 cut CT scan. I mean,
that first one you clicked was interesting because it looked like you could see what would be what I would equate to like a jugular or blood supply going up on the side of the neck.
I mean, I'll be honest personally. If they are real scans, yeah, and not just 3D renders that someone's made. First, I'd be interested to know when they are, when these were posted, because that would help us know how advanced things like Blender and stuff were, and Unity, all those like sort of freeware.
They have this raw footage. If this is a CT scan, there's raw footage that says what hospital it came from, who did it. All that would be critical.
And when you look under the discovery section, if you go to the first bit, went under that, which says humanoid, so it says 2 species, and then humanoid reptiles.
Sorry, say that again.
So if you go to the discoveries tab, That's
Yep.
so home, chronological discovery. And then on the first, it says 2 species. So
Yep.
humanoid reptiles. If you click on humanoid reptiles, when I just mentioned the fact about the rib cages, if you scroll down, there's scans. So scroll down, you'll see there's scans of all 4, so differences in the number of ribs.
Actually, Moody, you're
Yeah,
a fucking
guy. He's the guy.
You're a guy for fucking 3D render software. Fucking chime in.
I was going to say, you could click on images, and if you know JavaScript, you can see there's a certain code in the JavaScript that tells you kind of where they're getting the image from, and it will usually be labeled or titled in a certain way, and you could determine from that. Now, I don't know JavaScript, but I know of that concept, because in an image or video, a JavaScript is needed, and so the script is just a simple coding telling you commands on how to run that video. So it will tell you the file name, it will tell you everything, and that's how you could kind of determine if it's how it was saved. So if it was saved under that 3D rendering, the file type should represent that, right? Where a CAT scan would have a different file type.
Yeah.
You know
Come
what I
on.
mean?
Yeah. No, Moody, why don't you jump in there and weigh in there, man?
Yeah, even if you know nothing, just tell us. If you happen to know nothing about it, would you happen to know whether it might look like it was just made in 3D render software?
My next Taco Tuesday, I'm going to bring this website up to my buddy. Does this look real?
I mean, I will say this. Even if I think it's fake, it's fucking fascinating.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I feel like there's a lot of effort in this fake.
What's not to find fucking fascinating about this shit?
That they're not aliens and they just live underground. They're the hollow earth lizard people.
Mm.
They're just a lot
Hobbits.
smaller than we thought they were. I don't know, man. I'm not convinced it's alien. I just think it's something we don't know. Right?
See, I think it's alien.
No?
I think it's the ones that, if they're found in caves, it makes sense to me that they would crash, not knowing where they are, find a cave for shelter, and end up starving themselves because, they got no means of eating or whatever, and they end up dying in the cave. So,
Possible.
right? Because that's what I would do if I was on a foreign planet, crashed. I would get to a shelter, some kind of cave, or
I'd start trying to breed with things, but that's just me.
I do question the one that's just sort of stoically sat holding his knees.
You mean the Pompeii looking like one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, people die like that. I would
Do
imagine these
they?
things die. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they don't all fall out like that. Yep. And the fetal position curled up.
Yeah, but this guy was like,
but he's in a
stat.
state. Yeah, okay, exactly. But he's not in a spot where he's going to bloat. Most of the bodies we see come from bloating. Their bodies deteriorate, break apart, get carried apart by bugs. The internal organs fill with gas, rupture, move the body. But if you go to like where they're dried out or you're frozen, you see how the person died actually because they don't move, right? And you'll see people curled up.
So it's going up again. What have you done, UFO chick? The pole is going up.
Fucking needle mover. Love it.
Oh, dear. Wow.
Like somebody put ancient toys, maybe. There's a lot of effort in that toy. Their rib cage being at those right angles is bizarre.
Right?
What?
It's a weird design
what's
choice.
the statistics at, Ollie?
So it was 19%, and it went to 20% that think it's real. Now it's 22% that think it's real.
Love it.
Right?
Come round.
There's just too much for coincidence.
Is it bad that I voted no on the poll?
I voted yes on 7 different accounts with VPNs. No, I really didn't.
I did. Oh,
because I'm a
one.
Not even I'm not even going to say like in the field or research now. I'm going to call myself a journalist. I didn't vote because of journalistic integrity.
Well, so what is it? C. Barry says he's worked in orthopedics for more than 20 years, and it looks real to him or her.
Oh,
not trying to misgender you there,
right?
Sorry to have corrupted the entire.
No, actually, you're helping myself and Lee because it's
I
all
think so.
Right. Because I'm thinking they're real, and everybody else is kind of thinking not. And I'm like, once I seen them, I was like, "There's no freaking way. There's no way."
The only thing with this is that the 2 that were presented to Mexican Congress, I'm not sure these are the actual ones that they're referring to. So the ones that you're looking at, when you looked at Robert Salas's post, he's saying that the originals are in a museum. So when you just brought it up a minute ago, and it said many of you've contacted us, blah blah blah. The 2 specimens were supposedly discovered and then shipped to Mexico. On behalf of the members of the Inquiry in Cusco Institute, we want to express our deepest disagreement with this scandalous situation. We have not had the opportunity to examine these 2 supposedly non-human mummies, we cannot confirm their suspected authenticity. Now, I'm only reading this off of this particular site, but it says the only mummified bodies which we can give a definitive opinion are those of Maria. I can't say it again. Don't make me do it. Alberto, Josefina, and Victoria, and these are currently at the San Luis Gonzaga University of I don't know how to say it.
Just whiz up to the top of that, Ollie, just for a second in a minute. Sorry, carry on.
It's just where these 2 have come from. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I don't dispute that they have found these, but it's these 2 specific ones that are being portrayed.
See, the beginning of that thing from Robert Salas that Ollie's got up there is many of you have contacted us in relation to the presentation of 2 alleged reptilian humanoid specimens. Now, I'm not being funny. Even when you start to say like alleged reptilian humanoid specimens, there's something fucking weird going on. Do you know what I mean? Never
specific name.
Yeah, never have we accidentally found a human body and gone, is that allegedly reptilian or is it human? We're usually pretty good at discerning the 2.
Yeah, this is the first. At the forefront of disclosure, even fake or not. I don't think anybody's done this.
Well, look, man, I keep joking with people say like there is no better time to have a conspiracy or UFO channel. Like there is something every month, and there's something massive every month to talk about. It's weird.
It's getting different, right?
It's all good fun, though, at the end of the day, because we're all here for the truth at the end of the day, and whatever that looks like, I'm prepared for it. It doesn't matter how it comes and what form it is. The truth is always going to be what's important to me, and there's probably going to be many hoaxes, and you see CGI every single day. That's another form of hoaxing constantly that's getting bombarded. So the truth is important, but it's also, I don't know, you can't just dismiss everything immediately, can you? You've got to look more into it.
You can be in it for the truth as much as you want. I'm in it for a bump off whatever the Mexican aliens are trying to smuggle over the border, because that shit's going to be legit.
It's going to be out of this world.
Yeah, it's going to be pure, at least.
Cosmic. Right to the astral.
I really want to see what's inside those eggs.
You want to see
that's
it?
For sexual
I've just said I want to snort it.
Yeah.
You'd think they've like at least taken one of the eggs out or dissected it in some way. But I wonder what's going to come across like in the next sort of few months and years, if they get sent out and actually get allowed to be properly looked at. It'd be interesting to see.
Gun to head, what do you think it is? Like, not this. I mean, the push towards like disclosure. And
oh god, I'd need about 15 hours to discuss this. You could go through every single theory going.
No, okay, but
been a
right.
lot.
But
There's
what?
been a lot. Is the moon?
Why now?
Is the moon even real at the moment? Come on now, behave.
That's a Rockfin show.
Yeah. But no, but do you believe that there is, like what we all used to think of like aliens and UFOs, like the early 2000s, 90s sort of time. Are we just getting to that point of like, because it was always back then, it was said, oh, people aren't ready for this. We need to condition people to be ready for it. Is this the point where we're conditioned to be ready for it, or is this itself its own conspiracy?
I would never answer that question in a million years. You can ask it all you like. I'm never going to give you a definitive answer. Do you know, there's so many different theories at the moment about even the reality we live in before you even look at if it's a psyop and everything else. I'm just here to try and make sense of it. And to be honest, I go through many different theories constantly. I haven't settled on a particular. I think it'd be unwise.
I think you're right. It's so in some ways it almost looks like the foundation of reality is breaking down around us. You know, all of the things that we used to have as pillar stones of like what made the world work, what we could trust, what was real, what wasn't real. All of it seems malleable all of a sudden.
But never forget what's important, right? No, sorry. So Moody Mongol made an excellent point. So we must always remember, while we were discussing the story, somewhere in a dark, secluded giant plane hangar, David Wilcox quietly continues to construct his anti-gravity flying car. Never forget that. All right. This is what it's
never
really about,
a truer word spoken.
Oh,
I thought that was important.
It is important. But do you get what I'm saying? It would be really unwise to make a concrete conclusion to anything at the moment. About
No,
anything.
I'm not asking for a concrete conclusion. What I'm saying is, if someone was to ask you what do you think is going on, and you went right, best guess. What's your best guess?
There isn't a best guess. I've got many guesses, so I'm gonna stay on the fence until I actually think about it, and then come on again in future and have a chat.
Well said.
You can't.
We might be sucked into the seventh dimension then.
Well, hopefully,
Don't stay on the fence too long. You might fall down, right? And shatter all over the place, and we got to come by and pick you back up.
I can't because there's this on Instagram. There's this lady that's actually married a fence, so I've got to be careful not to stay on the fence too long.
She's married a fence.
Get romantically involved, and that's. I think that's my cue to leave your feet for the night.
Oh.
But thank you for
thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for corrupting the feed.
No, you didn't corrupt it at all. You made it better.
Anyway. Beautiful.
You made at least 5% more people believe this might be real.
Well, I'm not sure I believe myself, so I'm
it's
not
not
sure
what I believe. I believe you've come on as an advocate for these things, in therefore a represent for Mr. Ashwari himself.
No, that's not true. I'm not representing anybody or an opinion here. I'm just merely showing you information which I have come across.
Well, out of 98 votes, 22% of those people think it's real, and 77 think it's fake.
What happened to that 1%?
They own the pharmaceutical companies.
Brilliant. I don't think it's. For some reason, I feel like we'll probably end up doing a show again on these little fuckers.
I think it's going to be more. Do you think it'll be on these things? Because this is what I've noticed with this stuff at the minute. Is it's very disposable information. Or disposable stories. The almost like the congressional hearing has been a disposable story, so that's gone now. So we're waiting for the next thing. This is gone. The Las Vegas aliens, they're gone. The fucking New York Times article or whatever it was or was it New York Post Times? I can't remember. That's gone because ufology has entered the 24-hour news cycle almost. So it's something comes in, hits people, disappears. I still believe that this stuff is kind of like a scattergun thing. So it's not meant to like pick even us up. It's not meant to pick us up. It's meant to pick extra people up on the way. Because I keep hearing people that I would never speak to about this stuff go, do you have the fucking alien bodies? Or do you have the Peru thing with the face peelers? I don't know if that means it's fucking real or not, but there is definitely a concerted effort to make more people believe in aliens.
And this is where I think the hearing's going to help with that, right?
But
Because people are doing the same thing with me. Yeah.
But just to say that you think the hearings will help with that.
Yeah, for sure.
But that suggests you think that's a good thing. But what if it's a deception?
There's no bad coming from it. Nobody's getting hurt. Nobody's easy.
What if it's not real?
What
if it's a cake?
I want to finger the hole in the skull. This is where I said I want to finger it, right? And check it out. But the thing is that nobody's getting hurt at this point, regardless. And these hearings and this stuff is not meant for us. It's meant for the people that have not seen or heard of this. And this is going to blow their mind.
I don't think you can say no one's being hurt from it.
But who is?
Well, what if it's not real? And what if the whole...
But that's not hurting me. That's not hurting... Who's it hurting?
Well,
the miners and jetpacks?
Yeah, the miners and jetpacks. But it depends whether you just... Right, let's just say, for instance, that there's no such thing as aliens. There's no such thing as flying saucers. The back-engineered technology thing is pie in the sky. What we have, as far as technology goes, is all man-made, and this is something else. Then it is hurting people because it's creating a belief for a reason.
But it's not hurting them because people's belief changes based on the motion of where everybody else is going with it.
I think what Lee's saying there.
Yeah, but if it's a purposeful plan to insert this almost 90s-ish UFO folklore as reality, then let's say it's it's a cover story for the Hunter Biden laptop or the Epstein client list or a plethora of other real intravenously injected issues we have right now, then it is hurting people because it's a smokescreen for real fucking problems.
Mexico has real problems right now, but I still like. I'm not for it and I'm not against it.
I'm not. I'm literally playing devil's advocate because I don't know what's going fucking on. I just know we happen to be in the right place at the right time talking about the right subject as far as this goes.
Right.
I'd like to get an intelligence community sponsorship and say whatever they want us to say.
Well, why don't you just call up your fucking handlers, Dave?
Because they only got enough budget for me on this show. Let me tell you, it's not a lot.
No. Don't kid yourself at how cheap I am.
Don't kid yourself how stingy I am.
I don't think they're hurting anyone by doing this. The only way they would hurt someone if it is real, because somebody would get hurt. As for lying, misleading, nobody's getting hurt. Corey Good and David Wilcox If say they are lying, nobody got hurt. If they were telling the truth, somebody would have gotten hurt. Maybe it would have been David. Maybe it would have been Corey Good. Because, they're not going to want to disclose that information. That's why the government didn't shut them down.
Well, this is my problem with the whole UFO stuff in general, as far as the current paradigm goes, is that if you speak to Julian Assange, if you speak to what's his name, Dave? Who am I trying to think of?
Lou Elizondo?
Shot twice in the back of the head.
I don't know what
Whistleblower.
you're talking about. It sounds like natural cause of death to me.
What's his fucking name? I can't remember the guy's name. But
that's the point, Lee. That's the point.
It is the point. But if you Google search whistleblowers, doesn't fucking work out for people very
No,
well.
and then that's when. So if you tell them the truth, like I said before, them lying is not hurting anyone. What's hurting the people is when you start telling the truth. You know what I mean? So is it hurting anyone? No, no one at all. Maybe it hurts your feelings, but
I kind of don't think that if they were telling the truth, they'd be alive.
You would assume that. And you would only assume that if you think America's as strong as they think they are. And then maybe that's the perception they want you to think.
They've managed to hold Julian Assange hostage in various situations for half of his life now. And essentially tortured the guy in solitary confinement.
Hey, we haven't killed him yet.
Exactly, yeah. Only because you couldn't manage the collateral damage.
Yeah, everyone kept watching.
Yeah. So I don't, ask Gaddafi. Ask Gaddafi how powerful the US was.
I think it's interesting because I kind of agree with this statement from Tim G. Star. 90% don't care, believe in any of it. I think it's true.
Yeah.
I find it interesting that the government puts anything into managing this topic, and they obviously do. But the majority of people just don't care. It's a passing thing. They just don't care. So why?
I don't know why they wouldn't.
I'm with you on that. But the fact is they don't. And so because they don't, it's a known thing, yet governments still put resources into managing something that's a minor topic at most. To most people. So it's there's something there to manage. That's my point. There's something to manage. Otherwise they wouldn't do it. They just wouldn't care. They'd let people run wild. It doesn't matter. You wouldn't curve or cultivate or put agents to or wrong narratives or sponsor these insane things to try and drive a narrative unless there was a reason.
Yeah, it could be a money thing. Right? More budgets, more taxing, more.
See that
more.
People say that, but that for me does not hold water. It does not hold water when it comes to that because they're like the government lost at least the U.S. government lost $6 billion. That we didn't account that we gave that to Ukraine. They've lost trillions of dollars in the defense budget. There's special appropriation spending for projects that don't have to go through congressional budget approval. There's backdoors to get that money.
Right.
I live near a place that does it all the time. Hey, we're making progress. Here's another $3 billion. Keep it going for 6 years, guys. I guarantee what they're doing is not on any line item anywhere. It just is what it is. It is what it is. And if they want the money, they got it. To scare up the public, this is the wrong way to do it. There's better ways. A terrorist attack is cheaper and easier. Cheaper and easier. America's been in a 20-year shooting war over, false flag attacks, in my opinion. And, they're gearing up for the next thing. People are like, well, it's we're still in it. We're still in the never ending. So for money, there's cheaper, easier, faster ways.
Where did Lee go?
Sexual thing.
Ooh.
Can't hear you, Ollie.
He went down under. He went down under. He was saying.
I think Lee just went to get a drink. He's more sensible than I am. I just walk out of the room and he drops himself down.
Yeah. Yeah. So the money thing, that I mean, I get why people say it, and I understand their rationale, but I know people who, their careers are on that. The 6-month contract turns into an 8-year contract.
But what about this one world order? This unified Earth?
There already is one. In my opinion, there already is one.
Right, and that's the UN.
Nope.
Right?
No, that's a puppet show. People with real power, they don't care what
Or
the UN
NATO
doesn't think. Nope.
No,
because they don't make real shots either. None of them make real policy or decision. They're all lobbied. I mean, you have major banks, major banking institutions that are, transnational players, trans state, right? They loan to governments. That's who really is in charge. You know what I mean? I like that people talk about Elon Musk being one of the richest people in the world. The richest people in the world, we don't even know who they are.
Nope.
That's real power. Like Bilderberg meeting all these important people. Who are the other ones? On that
but those
list
are the
of
people
names,
that are not in front of the camera. They don't care to.
They don't
right?
have to be like.
No.
And I come back to this of my dearest friend, one of my dearest friends. His cousin is a billionaire. His cousin will not be found on any billionaires list. You can't find out how much he is, how much he's worth. I could guess it's somewhere between 30 and 60 billion. I think. Honestly, it's probably a hell of a lot more than that. And he can keep himself off all radars.
Right.
And he's not one of the super powerful. He's just a brilliant man who was in the right place at the right time, made the right moves, and made a lot of money. Some other things to that. But yeah, so there is a class of people who just kind of do their own thing. I mean, and, governments don't matter to them. And there's people way beyond that. Yeah, I mean, as far as everyone's worried about the one world order, I think that like kind of, in my opinion, Project Bluebeam is getting people worried about Project Bluebeam, so they disregard so much.
But I think it's a good thing, though.
Maybe.
Right. Nothing will change. The only difference is if there's ever a conflict or a unified discussion that needs to be talked about, then it's discussed. But other than that, Canada is still Canada.
Yeah.
United States is still United States. Russia is still Russia. But when there's an asteroid or an unknown object coming towards us, then that's when it kicks in for the best interest of everyone, not just each country, right?
Hopefully.
Well, that's what's happening and still happening, and they still do it. They do it now. We just don't know the name. There's no label to it yet.
I don't know that it's in the best interests of people, though. I think it's in their interests.
Well, no, it's not necessarily, because even it's in their interest, we still benefit from it. Right? So indirectly, it's in our benefit to let them do what they're doing, because you don't want some idiot, trying to make the best interest of the general population, and you get a left-winger that's thinking, okay, half of us has to die, when in reality is, no, it didn't have to go that way if a third and a third died.
I don't.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I don't think they care about that. I mean, I don't know. I've never talked to any elite person like that, so I don't have their opinion. But I can look at like actions and like, how did Oprah acquire all that land in Maui?
Right.
She got 1,000 acres for under $6 million in Maui. Oh, that's right. She owns all the government officials. She manipulated.
Well, because she probably bought it because people were just selling it and they were tired of it, and so she just
no. It wasn't. The government was genuinely involved. She got it well below market. I mean, pennies on the dollar for the actual value of the land. She genuinely bought 1,000 acres for under $6 million on Maui. Yeah, that's.
Then you had the
and she's just a billionaire, right? She's just using the system, and I get it. She's moving that system.
You've already got them coming out and saying, look, that they're going to essentially forcibly take land off people, haven't you?
Correct.
Like to preserve the country.
Yeah, the U.S. government's done it before to sell to multinational organizations.
See, my worry about this, because I take it you couldn't hear me before. I forgot to add myself back in. Yeah,
the bottom of the screen going like that. I'm like,
yeah, thank you, Ali.
I was like, wait, see, all right.
This is why you complete me.
So
what I worry about is the fact that I mean, say worry. I shouldn't say worry. That makes me sound like a paranoid fucking lunatic. But you have a situation in which you could essentially rally massive amounts of people together. If you were to, I don't know, like Reagan said, if there was some sort of outside extra alien threat, how quickly the world would come together. I don't think a one world government is in anybody's, or at least anyone living right now. It's a no to no one currently watching this, apart from a very select few, is an advantage.
Correct.
And that's what worries me about this, and that's what I think. If someone was to put gun to head at what's going on, I think we are seeing a bogeyman be created, in which we'll need a global effort to overcome. Climate change hasn't done it. Viruses haven't done it. Can aliens do it?
No, because you'll probably still get that percentile that just doesn't care. As long as it's not affecting their lives.
No, it's not. It's not percentile that don't care. You will get me. You will get the anti-establishment, anti-government person that will go, I do not believe you.
Right.
And that's, I hope there's more of me, because I think we're being lied to about this.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. You just can't trust them.
Exactly. You just can't trust them. I am looking forward to watching it play out, though. It's going to be
interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's what's the phrase? The curse of living in interesting times. It's fucking terrifying what's going on right now. Especially if you look what's going on in India, and then you think back to Bill Gates' statements about the next one will get attention. That's fucking.
I missed that. What's going on in India?
What can we say on YouTube? There is a thing there is a thing with a 40 to 70% rate.
Oh.
I get to use my clean room after all.
Oh.
Sorry, if you didn't get your
they've already
set
this, they've already set up hazmat stuff for Dover in the UK. If anyone didn't notice that, there is like the blow up balloony tents and hazmat people at Dover, which I find quite interesting.
So with that said, do you think this now? I don't know who said it. I don't know if it was Lee or whatever. They're using it to mask this UFO stuff, is to mask what's really happening in these back doors. Do you think this could have been it?
I think that's. I think it's all noise. I think this is noise. I think Russell Brand is noise. I think the
look at this, don't look over here kind of thing. Yeah.
If I'm perfectly honest, I think the biggest story right now is excess death rates. That's the big story in every company, in every country.
Right.
500, 600 extra a week. It almost sounds small for that. I think that's the UK is 500 to 600 a week extra. Then you look at the countries that happens in. Obviously, we can't talk too much about it. That's the story. You
need to trust the medical professionals, Lee.
I would throw fucking aliens at it as well if I was trying to cover that up, especially if there was money to be made from the next round, which happens to be coming out within the next month or so. But who knows? Maybe it is fucking aliens. Maybe everything's coming at one point, and maybe this is what when you hear about like Graham Hancock talking about the turns of humanity over, maybe at some point the simulation just fucking hits us with everything. And
alien invasion and airborne Ebola.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And then fucking giants, like the fucking giants ripping up from out of the earth to come and fucking cleanse the fucking plains.
I'm okay with that. That's a big target. I'm fine with that.
I'm at least it'll look cool. And one might be Godzilla. So yeah, maybe this is just what happens. Or It definitely feels like the world's more. I was going to say, or maybe the world's always been this chaotic, but it does feel more chaotic than it's ever been.
Don't worry, it's going to get worse.
Definitely.
I think you're probably right.
Oh, I am right.
Yeah, it seems to be the common thing, right?
Hey, it just gets weirder and worse.
Mm.
You know.
Well, it's always the same way. It's like a tantrum, isn't it? If you see a child have a tantrum, you can have a misbehaving child, but that when it gets to a certain point, it's got to scream and it's got to bang its fists on the floor before it starts to go, oh, actually, everything's okay. Doesn't matter if I can't have that toy. Let's just move on with our lives. I feel we're just at the point before the fists start hitting the floor. We're not at the peak of the tantrum. We're just getting towards it. And only when everything is completely fucked can things hopefully right it themselves.
We shall see, unfortunately.
100%. I mean, it's crazy times we live in, and the last thing we need, maybe we do need aliens. Maybe we do.
Ah, so this one's from a bat as well, huh? Fruit bat.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh, didn't it?
To animals, and then through the food supply, and then mutated to go from human to human.
What I would say is that there has been outbreaks of this, like over the few years, but incurable up to this point. But lucky enough, only this year do we have something we can stick on ourselves to cure us from it.
I'm looking forward to that.
Perfect.
All 8 of them.
Ollie is getting anxious.
It's in the news, Ollie. Fine.
Yeah, we're just talking about news stories. I mean,
you didn't say it was fake.
And all I can say on the whole matter is that no matter what happens, we should 100% follow government guidelines.
They're medical professionals.
Yes.
Joe Biden's wife's a doctor, guys. Come on.
Oh, really? I didn't know that, eh?
Should look up.
Yeah, she's got a doctor in education. Her
okay.
Her thesis looks like it was written by a 4-year-old. So it's fantastic.
Well, isn't Biden a doctor?
No.
Is he not a pediatrician?
No, he's examined a lot of children, though.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. His daughter wrote about it.
Maybe
in a
that's
book.
why he sniffs kids' hairs. I don't know. Maybe.
He's checking to see if he has COVID, making sure his sense of smell still works.
Maybe.
Yeah. With children.
And
and his daughter.
But have you really smelt an infant? Like, do you ever hold a baby and smell their hair?
Yeah.
My own. I love the smell
right?
of my kids. They smell great.
I'm just saying. Please laugh. But no, I'm just saying. I think Biden has onto something. Have a sniff. You never know. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's where he stops.
No. Well,
not according to his daughter.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's fun. Look at Ollie shitting his pants.
All right. We're done. We're done. They're coming after us.
Just burn it. Just burn it now. Yeah.
Nothing burnable has happened in this episode, Ollie.
No.
It's fine.
No.
Although the funny thing was, I don't know how to pronounce it, but when I first read what this new thing's called, I read it as the nymph virus, and I thought I could do with that. That sounds great.
Till you bleed out of your penis. But whatever.
It's happened before, happened again.
Speaking of Rotfin, we've got.
That's what the penicillin's for.
No, we haven't promoted it.
Oh no, we haven't. Yeah, this is this Thursday. Well done.
I'm glad
Ollie.
we're doing it at the end of a 2.5-hour show.
Yeah,
we should have done it at the beginning.
Should have done as well. I was caught off by thinking my Guinness was non-alcoholic. I'm terribly sorry. Yeah, we have Avery Warner coming on from Chiller Queen podcast. One of my favorite podcasts. One of my favorite podcast hosts. Can't fucking wait.
And that's going to be kind of like what's going on with the whole UFO thing.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, she's just done an excellent podcast with someone whose name escapes me. I need to listen to it tomorrow, actually, when I'm at work. She did a David. Where's the things? Come on, Lee. You're a pro. You're a pro. You can do this.
I'm fucking questioning that right now.
Oh, why is it taking so long to come on?
It's the alcohol.
David.
She did a great show.
David Hamblin. There you go. So I had to wait for it to scroll across the screen. And I like when I was speaking to her on emails, like she seemed pretty excited about the interview she just done with him, and she was very excited to talk about it to other people as well. So I'm looking forward to talking to her on Thursday.
Hey, I'm talking to her too.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Cool.
That's going to be we're 30-minute show, 8:30.
8:30 pre-show on YouTube, and then Avery will be joining us at 9 o'clock.
3:30 p.m.
Rockfin. It's something Narnia time. I've no idea.
Yeah,
here it's 3:30. The lube up is 3:30 Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Eastern.
Right.
Penetration's 4 p.m. Eastern.
Can I say something? And I'm fully ready to look like a fucking moron here. This is especially to Ollie. No, I don't mind. I always thought the UK was Greenwich Mean Time. But then when I looked at Greenwich Mean Time is an hour behind British Standard Time. And I've never seen British Standard Time before.
No,
I always thought the UK...
When I deal with anything at work, like it comes up when I fill it in Greenwich Mean Time. So
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So why when I was trying to sort it out is Greenwich Mean Time like an hour difference to British Standard Time, which I have never fucking heard of. I felt like a full on fucking time retard.
Well,
weird.
Yeah.
It's aliens.
I don't know that they're aliens. They're just small little things that look like ET. And I'm glad they're only 2 feet tall.
I'm glad if the real.
Greenwich Mean Time is plus 1 hour our summertime. So our winter time would be Greenwich Mean Time. Maybe I've only ever looked maybe I've only ever looked at time in the winter then.
It's a different set of problems.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to show different types of bodies.
I hope so. I need to know what I need to prepare against.
Right.
Those little ones, double up buck, semi-automatic, AK shotgun, 25.
Hey, but apparently those little ones, those are the ones that are coming into your room unnoticed or unannounced. It's just taking you.
I don't.
Where the taller ones are more communicative and they're more like telepathically helping you or doing something with you. Where the smaller ones are just doing what they're doing, and then that's it. You get no say and no nothing.
I think the best thing you could do with one of the small ones is use it as a dildo,
right?
To warn the rest.
The arms break.
Oh no, you assault that thing left and right, man. You
treat it like a finger puppet. Oh.
Yeah,
I don't
treat it like a fleshlight.
Just saying, I don't want to be like.
Yeah,
I don't want to be their Biden.
I do. I'm going to set the example early. Are we going to go to this house? No. You heard what happened to Zelon over there, right? He's still never recovered, man. That's a lot of surgery.
I need to understand.
I need to
understand their fucking rules of consent. I need to understand their age of consent. I feel if I just pick one up, I can accidentally say, "Look, I didn't realize it was a thing. I just used it as a dildo."
You just need to not care. Just not care. All right, it's a foreign species. You do what you got to do. They're not even human, right?
Ollie's gone. Ollie's done.
Oh, that's it. He kicked him off. He's like, "I'm done."
He's either upset or aroused. Either could be true.
Oh. Oh man, you know what?
Aw.
I'm only gonna hint to it now, but I came up with a bit of a stand-up routine that would get me locked up in most countries and totally deplatformed on all social media. But
Now's
it's
the
Let's
time.
try it
funny
here.
as fuck. Everyone I've told it to dies laughing. But all my friends are pretty fucked up, so yeah. No, I wouldn't do that. It would end this show. It would end this channel 100%.
Well, it's probably a good time to end this show then. Ollie,
Shall I hit
drive
it?
this battleship home.
Thursday, people.
That's gonna be fun.
Has NASA been
It's
in
gonna be
touch
awesome.
with the Mexican authorities about the rather sensational revelations earlier this week of 2 allegedly non-human corpses? And what, if any, importance do you attach to these discoveries?
I think David had a prep for that one.
Well, this is something that I know I've only seen on Twitter. So it's, when you have unusual things, you want to make data public. I think of this as like NASA has one of the most valuable samples from outer space, lunar rocks. What do? We make them available to any scientists who want to work on this. We don't know the nature of those samples that were shown in front of them. If I was the Mexican government, I would are making recommendations to the Mexican government. That's not our charge here. We're doing this for NASA. My recommendation was, if you have something strange, make samples available to the world scientific community, and we'll see what's there.
I'll just add that one of the main goals of what we're trying to do here today is to move conjecture and conspiracy towards science and sanity, and you do that with data, as David says, and that's the whole purpose of this study.
No se trata de seres que fueron recuperados en naves que son estrellamientos, sino son seres que estaban sepultados en minas de diatomea.
That motherfucker is not real!
That is maximum orgasm.
Adrian!
Oh my god, that guy just wetted himself. Look at that. He is there, man. That's bliss.
That's when he was saying he's like
cock bliss.
He was saying he's like he was trying to imitate back in the day. I have a clip of him saying that on one of my videos. He was like, remember the good old days when we had COVID-19? That's what he was saying there. That